Hello and welcome back to East London Property Today. I'm Reuben and this is Nicholas.
Hello, how are you doing?
Hi there. So last few weeks and a few months we've had quite a few concerned landlords asking about impending legislation changes and in particular the tenancy fee ban coming to effect 1st of June this year.
Yes, indeed.
So tell us, Nick, how are we going to overcome this issue, or more importantly, how are our landlords going to overcome this issue?
Okay, so the first thing we should look at is what the landlords are going to have to overcome, how it's going to affect them. One of the big things that's going to affect them is the security deposit.
Right.
At present, it's normally 6 weeks most agents take, and if someone has a pet or something like that, they may take an extra £1,000 or something along those lines.
On the basis that the pet might cause damage? And,
yeah, of course,
okay.
And for a deeper clean at the end of the tenancy, things like that.
Okay.
Now this is going to be capped at 5 weeks. If your rent is below £50,000 per annum.
Okay.
And then if it's above £50,000, it'll be capped at 6 weeks.
Okay. Why the difference?
They presume that a more expensive property yields higher rent, and there'll be, something costs a lot more to fix in that particular property. Landlords are also going to have to look at paying for things like tenancy extensions, which a tenant normally pays a small proportion of to the agent.
Right.
And then there'll also be checkouts at the end of tenancies as well that they'll have to cover now. Landlord always paid for your inventory and check-in, but now they're going to have to cover the full spectrum of the costs throughout the tenancy. It's going to affect agents in a way of how they take offers. So before, a lot of agents take a holding deposit. Personally, we take 2 weeks. This is going to be capped at 1 week as a holding deposit in order to put the offer forward to the landlord, to show the commitment that the applicant really does want that property.
But my understanding is that as long as you have written confirmation from the tenant that you can hold it for longer than 1 week, then it is possible to.
No, so you're mistaking it. You can hold the deposit amount will be equal to 1 week's rent,
right?
Although you can hold it for 2 weeks maximum.
Right, okay.
Now, if the tenancy isn't progressing after 2 weeks or there's still references going on, things like, you'll need to refund that money to the tenant.
So that's the bit that you need the written confirmation to keep. I'm with you, right? Okay.
Yeah, because there'd be no reason to refund it to them if you have every reason to believe, and with their consent, that the tenancy is going to progress. Okay. It'd be silly to just pass money back and forward for no reason.
Okay.
Obviously, administration fees will have to go up for landlords slightly. Some agents, of course, will just take this into account and take the blow themselves and not charge their landlords. But I'm sure the majority will have a slight increase after June 1st for all the landlords.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so you told us a little bit there. You touched on how a landlord can potentially get over this, or how they can negate the loss of income potentially with a tenancy fee ban coming into place. Are there any other things that a landlord can potentially do to kind of overcome this loss of income?
Well, the main thing to look at present, and most agents will have seen this already, but there's lots of insurance packages coming up. Right. Whether it's from the reference companies or private insurers, like Direct Line, things like that, they're all over the radio and TV.
Are you paid by Direct Line here? just making
Most
sure.
Definitely not. But that's one of the major things you're going to have to look at as a landlord. Now, if you're a private landlord and you do your referencing yourself, which some do, I'd recommend that you find a third party in order to do that for you, because they'll only give you their insurance packages if you do the referencing with them.
Right, okay.
So definitely I know HomeLet has a few different ones. We've got private ones from our management centre that we've come up with, and different packages will offer you different things. But the main thing is to get included is the referencing, which now you'll have to pay for, and some sort of insurance that covers you above and beyond what the deposit is. Because 5 weeks won't really cover you for much.
Right, in terms of damage and having to get the place back into rentable condition, or the condition in fact that it was rented to the tenant in the first instance.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got good tenants, most of the time it won't be more than a couple £100 maximum that you'll charge them to get the property back up and running.
If being a big word in the world of the landlord.
Yeah, there's always instances where a tenant can cause substantial damage. Maybe it's a boiler or something like that.
Yeah.
And to replace a boiler, you're probably looking at somewhere around £1,600–1,700.
Okay.
And if you're renting a studio or something like that, let's say in Stratford, which costs you £1,100 a month, Well, you're looking at somewhere around £1,600 or thereon to change the
So
boiler.
if you've
It's
got
not
some
going to cover it.
painting and some, deep cleaning to do at the end of the tenancy, but your holding deposit's only, or your contract deposit's only £1,100-1,200, and what we're saying is you're going to have a £400 or £500 shortfall. Is there no way that the landlord's going to be able to recover that?
Well, what we've got is with our personal insurance package, I'm sure there's other people that have them as well. The max package we do covers the landlord for £10,000 over the security deposit.
Wow, okay.
It also covers them for the security deposit itself, so the tenant doesn't actually have to pay one. So, it's hard times, the living wage isn't the highest, it's the highest it's ever been, but then the cost of living has gone up as well. So it helps the tenants be able to move in without a substantial amount of money that they have to put down up front normally.
Understood, okay.
So definitely something worth looking into.
So insurance is number one?
Yeah, another thing landlords can look into is obviously to shop around their agents. Now, I'm not saying go to the cheapest agents, because normally the cheapest agent isn't going to give you the full package, the full service.
Yep.
But definitely make sure you're getting what you pay for and they're giving you the kind of complete package that you need, whether it's compliance, insurances, ensuring your tenants are happy during their stay. That all together will combine and make sure that you negate void periods, which should comfort some of the loss that you're going to have.
Okay. So it's also a case of choosing an agent that understands current legislation changes and is dealing with it appropriately.
Of course. I mean, we've seen loads of fines come out. I won't name any agents, but we've seen a few of the big ones, some of the smaller ones. A lot of them are shutting down because of the tenant fee ban as well. Right. So I think you'll be left with the kind of core, very good agents that provide a great service, and all agents have their USPs. So make sure that those USPs fit what you need.
Right, understood.